And we're back. Hey, welcome back to the Liverpool Community Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Johnson Lynch. And, it's been a while. We've been off for the summer, and now we're back starting a new series of programs where we talk to people from the community about who they are, what they deliver, and, just generally good natured stuff that's going on in Liverpool. And one of the people I'm joined here today by is Jane Scott from Smart Mindful Choices. How you doing, Jane?
Hi Chase, nice to see you today. I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, you okay? Yeah, no. So Jane, thank you for being like one of the first new batch of guests on here to the show. Smart Mindful Choices. Wow, that sounds interesting. Can you tell us a little bit about Smart Mindful Choices?
So Smart Mindful Choices is a CIC. And what we do is we offer holistic support to the community, and we do that through group work. And what we offer is support around the wider issues of mental health. Our provision includes psychoeducational group sessions on confidence building, increasing self-esteem, anxiety management, anger management, healthy relationships, and managing stress. We also offer some work around healthy eating and sleep as well. It's normally 5 to 10 weeks, and on some of the sessions we offer self-defense classes at the end of the sessions as well, to offer people a chance to get out and do something different, take extra care of their bodies, take extra care of themselves. So that's the current course that we've been running over the last 2 years.
And that's our show. So
All done then. Well done.
oh yeah, we're done. That was real easy, wasn't it? Though. No, obviously we'd like you to pad that out a little bit,
Yeah, of
in the
course.
sense where it's like, Smart Mindful Choices, like basically the work you do is really powerful, and I want people to know more about it.
course.
But let's talk about first about how long it's been around. It's been around since 2020. So I think you said it started was it right before the pandemic or during the pandemic?
So our founder, Sam McCleary, so she is one of our directors. She's not here with me today, but she developed the programme and has brought this piece of work to life and really worked hard the last 4 years to make Smart Mindful Choices happen. She began developing the programme in 2020, and we became a CIC. I keep saying that wrong, apologies.
No, I understand.
In 2021. So she was hoping to start, but the pandemic hit, so everything stopped in 2020.
And then you came along as a facilitator,
In 2022, yeah.
right, and everything like that. So what was your role when you first started there?
So when I first began, it was to facilitate the sessions. So I'd come along to the sessions, and I'm a qualified counsellor. Sam has a background in psychoeducation, and we'd come together and work with groups of people who wanted support in all the areas we discussed, confidence and self-esteem building.
Yeah.
And my role was just really to offer that extra support to the sessions.
But you said to me that like you obviously fell in love with it.
I did. I love
Working with people and like that, and their struggle, their inner struggle, which is powerful stuff and everything, to the point where you actually became a director in the program as well. So how did that come about?
So after carrying out the work with Sam for the 2 years and facilitating, I just love this programme. This piece of work is so powerful. Watching groups of people come together, support each other, pull off the best in each other. You don't get to see that always in society and in our day-to-day lives, but watching people come together in that way, see the best in each other, offer advice and support, have compassion for each other, show care for each other, it's a wonderful thing to see, and it's really, for me, really empowering to be a part of that and to support people to move forward.
Now, see, this is where I think that we should kind of like help people to understand, because the group work or the circle work is the imperative here, isn't it? You're working with, as you say, like generally people 18 plus, aren't you?
Yes.
Even though you are open to working with young people as well in certain cases. But, you're bringing together about maybe like 5 to 10, and then in a lot of cases, men,
Yep.
right? Where now that has its own element to it. How is that? Like when they first come into that room, You know, I mean, like, tell me about that for you.
So what I will say is that we offer the group work is open to men and women, and they can join together.
Yeah.
But if women would prefer to be in a group just women, we can offer that as well. And if men would prefer to be in a group just men, we offer that as well. And we did facilitate a group just for men. And at first I was a little bit nervous, if I'm honest. I didn't know quite how they'd enter the room, how they cope with it. But it was possibly one of my most favourite groups to run.
Why is that?
Because we saw the change that we saw
Exactly.
in the men. It was amazing. The vulnerability, the ability to come and be honest about their life situations and what had brought them to this point in their life that they needed this support was really impactful for me, but impactful for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I'm trying to get you share because, I mean, I've done group work a lot, and, I mean, it's that veil that comes down,
Yes,
isn't it?
definitely.
You know, I mean, like, you walk in, like, with a guard
Yeah,
and stuff like that, you know. I mean, I want to do that, and everything like that, but it's also in the power of listening, isn't it? Like, you
Yes.
give them a chance to talk about their individual experiences,
yeah,
but then they also are able to take on board what works for them and like what is similarity for
yeah.
them, isn't it? I mean, isn't that generally like the case for you where you see that breakdown of vulnerability?
Definitely. So generally they came in and they'd be kind of like, we're just here to see what it's about. We're not quite sure, you
Yeah.
know. We might not stay the whole hog. We will probably just do a week and see how it goes. And then week by week they'd come back and they'd be sharing. So we did about healthy relationships, and I spoke to my partner about that.
Yeah.
And we've decided to communicate a different way now. We've thought about how we're going to communicate. Or they'd say, actually, I had a different conversation with my son because of advice another man gave
Yeah.
them about saying, don't handle it like that, mate. Do
Yeah.
it differently, because
I
it's
love
down to if it's not. It's psychoeducation, but it's practical and it's to the
No,
point. And
it's fantastic
yeah.
because it's the fact that like everybody has their own experience in growing
Yeah.
up. You know what I mean? And so that whole tough love scenario thing
Yeah.
is like, you know, but then when you say about they could go back and talk to their partners or their children, I mean, the profoundness of that. And then to bring that story back to the group and everything. So, I mean, it's that kind of stuff, isn't it? It's like amazing, isn't it?
It is, and so you're not just impacting one person, you're impacting the wider community,
Yeah.
their wider community, their family, the individuals that they love and they live with. And you know, we know mental health has a massive impact on the person experiencing it, but also for the family who are living with someone who's got mental health issues or
Yeah.
who's got some struggles. So in the male group, we had a male who had some serious health issues as well. And that's always going to impact on your mental health as well. And how that was managed in their family could be quite difficult at times, and they felt misunderstood. But through the work together and having some understanding and have people listening and sharing and saying, I might feel a bit different for your wife though, you know, so you're upset because you're in pain today, but if you're shouting at your partner or
Yeah.
your wife, how does that feel for them?
You're just carrying it on. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
have you tried telling them actually you're feeling in pain today and you're low? And he went, that was that situation I talked about before. He went back and spoke to his wife and he communicated what actually was happening for him, and that made a difference. Then we had another gentleman who joined the group, and he was very unwell. His mental health was very low. He was feeling suicidal. He came to us and said, actually, at the end of the first session, I don't know if I'll be here next week. I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling. So we obviously did all the necessary safeguarding support that you would give to anyone in that situation, but we encouraged them to keep going and to come back to the group. And each week he came back and we saw him building his self-esteem and confidence. And one of the lovely things about that particular group was we do a piece of work around what do you see in other people around you in the group and how do you view them. And he was able to hear so many lovely things about himself that people he just met saw in him.
Yeah, I love it when that happens. Like when you mirror, like, well, it's like I used to use the term BDUIC
Yeah,
and everything like that because we see such a distorted view
Yeah.
that comes from our past, and we're only seeing that cloud our judgment and minds, whatever. But then when you offer the opportunity for someone else to share what they see in you, they only see you today here
Yeah.
in this room. doing your best
Yeah.
and everything like that. So they can only talk about that. They don't know anything about your past.
Yeah.
But that's when you realize you're the one who brought your past into this
Yeah.
room, especially with relationships, isn't it? I mean, now also too, I think it is important, like you was indicating that it's not just male groups that you're working with. Like you also work with women as well.
We
I
do.
mean, like I believe you were talking about like women involved in like in domestic abuse sometimes and everything else like that. So, what kind of situations have you encountered in that group work?
So in that group work, what we've done is when people have finished having support from domestic abuse agencies, they can come along and carry out this piece of work to help build their confidence, help them make choices. And so when we've worked with women in them situations, it's been a real safe space for them to come and share how life's been for them since they've left a relationship, or how things have developed for them since, and the impact of the domestic abuse. So it helps them rebuild it themselves. They've said to us in the past, actually, I feel like I'm finding me again through this work.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, and that's the group, it always comes back to the group and creating a supportive environment. And literally we just facilitate, the group do the work, they support each other, they lift each other up, they help each other through the work we're doing. And the women have come out at the end just feeling more confident, more able to cope with life, to make better choices for themselves. Because that's our name, Smart Mindful Choices.
Yeah, yeah.
And we want people to come away feeling like they've had choice and they've been enabled to make good choices for themselves.
I mean, do you find that there's also like, especially when you're dealing like with relationships and stuff, do you find that like sometimes because people are getting clouded by their past? I mean, you understand what I mean?
Yeah, of course,
right?
yeah.
And stuff like that, they make judgments on their present.
Yeah,
Right?
of course.
So whether the women making judgments on their men and how they should be, men making judgments on
Of
their
course.
wives and how they should be. Going through a process of this group work and the support that they're receiving, do you find that it helps more relationships or?
I definitely think there's a positive outcome for relationships, for the individual. So sometimes they may make choices that actually this relationship isn't for me anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's not right.
Yeah.
But we do a whole session on healthy relationships. And one of the things we do there is we actually try and talk about what's domestic abuse and what's actually an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah.
And a healthy relationship. And because sometimes, it's never clear, domestic abuse anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not always easy to see that actually this is just not the right relationship for me. This is not healthy, or there's things we can do to work on this actually. And people
Yeah.
go away with that understanding that.
No, I mean that's what I'm trying to say is like it's easy to demonize a relationship or a person in that
course.
relationship where you don't have an understanding about where they're coming from and what made them in the way they are.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you have to be their salvation, but it's just about at least that's what counseling generally
Yeah,
is
of
supposed to be
course.
anyway. Is that at least if we could find out where you come from to what you hear, are we right for each other? Or
Yeah.
should we separate or anything like that? But at least you've had the ability to try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think for us it's working with the individuals and selves
Yeah.
them. You've got choices. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be like this.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like, besides the group work, well, I mean, it's still the group work, but what you said you and Samantha do is sometimes you work with other experts and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do.
So, you bring other people into the group to support, like, different needs. Like, I mean, at one point you brought a dietitian in or specialists and stuff like that. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So for one of the sessions is around healthy
Healthy
eating
Yeah.
and sleep and healthy sleep patterns and how to, because that's so important to our well-being. If our bodies aren't right and we're not eating right and giving our body what it needs, then that's going to have an effect on our mental health and our relationships and everything else. And we realise we're not the experts in healthy eating and sleep, but we can find people who are. So we invited in an expert who does one session. So we have 8 weeks of sessions and they'll do one for us and they'll lead that session around the healthy eating and the sleep, and that's been really amazing for people because they can ask lots of questions. So we'll have people who come in who are diabetic, or who have specific health conditions. We recognise we don't know enough about that, but a dietitian and a health expert does, and she could give them really good advice and support, and tell them where to get more advice and support, and offer them further choices.
Let's move on to like funding, right? Because for a project like yours as a CIC, I mean, you rely on funding
Definitely.
and everything, and it's a hard thing to do, isn't it? I mean, doing the whole grant finding
Yeah.
thing and stuff like that. Because I think you said something about you're at a moment of reevaluation.
We are, yeah.
And so, can you tell us a little bit about that?
So we've just currently come to the end of our current funding. So we've took this time now to reevaluate, look at the work we've done, what other work we'd like to do going forward, and then we're going to obviously carry out funding bids to meet that piece of work. So we are hoping to develop a programme of work with children and young people to improve their well-being,
And emotional intelligence.
their emotional intelligence, definitely, and their self-esteem and confidence, because we know that's an issue for children and young people. And understanding your own emotions is so important, isn't it, going forward? So that's something we're looking to do, and looking to get some funding around that. So that's where we're at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, because also too, as I believe you said, it's just the two of you as a matter, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's just that also that kind of thing about, servicing your community. Like right now, you guys are more of an outreach service. Is it?
Yeah.
So like you go to the community where, hey, we're here to support you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You've been in places like, as you said, like Salvation Army
Yeah.
and Sean's place and everything like that. And any other places you want to name?
We carried out some sessions in the Feel Good Factory as well over in Everton. I think that's the three main places we've carried out the sessions. We did, I think we did 3 programmes in Everton. We've done 4 in Salvation Army, and maybe 1 in Sean's place, or 1 or 2 in Sean's place. So, but we're always looking to wherever the community need is, where people can gather together. That's where we'll go to them. We'll go to the community. So, if we find in Southport, just for instance, there's people there who would like to complete the programme, we'll find a room and we'll go there and we'll do that work.
Is your community growing? Like, with a good core group of people that come all the time, or?
Well, because it's 8-week sessions once the work's completed.
Yeah.
It's completed, so what happens is obviously then people will move on. But what we do find is we have got a community of people who are keeping in touch with us, and we've got a community. We're gathering a community of facilitators who will come in and work with us as and when the programmes are running, who are all qualified and very capable individuals. So we are developing our community in that way, and we're getting more well known with different organisations who are realising or hearing about us and saying, oh yeah, that's a good piece of work, and passing on that information.
Yeah. I mean, but that, again, that's where hopefully like a program like this could help in the way of like knowing, what Smart Mindful Choices is all about, because like, it's about how can people find you, and like, are you the right organization for them? So let's do that whole like social media handles kind of scenario. Look at her, I had to go to her phone and everything like that. But
why not? Get it right.
Yeah, get it right. All right.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So you can find us on Instagram at Smart Mindful Choices, and we have a website, smartmindfulchoices.co.uk. You can also find us on Facebook, Smart Mindful Choices CIC. And yeah, that's where you can find us.
Excellent.
See, our other partner Roy will say, now that is how you should do it. It's Smart Mindful Choices everywhere. It's not like Smart Mindful Choices on Instagram, Smart Choices that are mindful on Facebook. Choices. Are they smart? Or are they mindful or something?
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's some people who just like keep changing their name or SMC, and and it's like you gotta be consistent across the board, across the platforms, so that's amazing. Usually like we would ask like, do you have anything coming up, that you like to promote and stuff like that? And I mean, basically, as you were saying, is like, well, we're there wherever people want us. And
Definitely.
stuff like that, but you know, point about it is like, putting yourself out there for people to know, hey, yeah, smart mindful choices, this is what we're here to do and everything. And then hopefully we can help support an organization like yours or whatever and everything. I mean, we the community and stuff, and keeping it going
Yeah.
and stuff.
What I would say is if people hear about us today and they're interested and they think they can make use of this programme of work, get in touch. We're always willing to look at how we can work with people and what we can offer. So get in touch, let us know what your needs are, and we'll see what we can do to support that. But we're very open to conversations with people, and we want to continue this work. And please keep looking us up on social media, because there will be things coming in the future, definitely.
See, that was another ad. Look at that. At the beginning, there was an ad. At the end of that, hey, Phil, you think you're ready to make smart, mindful choices?
She's doing great work here. It's absolutely brilliant.
That's not the question I asked.
I'm loving listening to what you do with the community. It's absolutely
Thank you.
superb. Sorry, what was the question again?
I said, Phil, are you ready to make smart, mindful choices?
Is the bus coming soon to pick you up, Chase, or are you driving today, are you? Or, that's something else that Roy contributed. It's a very unusual look for Chase, Jane. Sorry, yeah. So, yeah, it's just something we're going to have a bit of fun with today, that's all.
I am
think
a model
Chase
today.
looks very smart today. I'm
Thank
impressed.
you.
Very impressed.
He needs as
Thank
much
you.
support as he can
I
get.
need as much.
I think he made that effort for me today, to be
He
honest.
did?
I did. I made
Smart mindful choices are coming.
I made a smart, mindful
And-
choice to dress up
And
today.
we want to show our best, so
You're
I
absolutely
appreciate
right.
it.
Jane, thank you for the save and the love. Please, smart, mindful choices, keep it going.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I would like to thank James Scott for coming, representing Samantha McCleary and the organization that they continue to love, to help and support. Not just men, but men and women and young people as
course.
well, and everything. So, I mean, it's a much needed organization in our community. I'm your host, Steve Johnson Lynch. I'm not even going to mention Phil. I'm just going to say, we out of here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.